In the Philippines, desperate men allow Filipino women to bring friends, cousins, or relatives on a first date. They chalk this up as culture, but it's just symbology one-on-one. It's the stupidest thing a man can do is allow a woman to bring a second person on a date, a third wheel. It gives you no chance to get to know each other, and it openly tells everyone that you are a pushover, you have no testicles, and you cannot even lead a relationship. Don't give me this nonsense about culture. This is not the 1800s. Filipinos are not conservative, despite what they want you to believe. That is why the single mother rate is through the roof, especially with teenagers. Today's women do not care about tradition or culture. It's simply a free meal for them and their family. That's it. Nothing else. No other reasons or excuse. I do not care if somehow you think you found a good relationship because you allowed your current partner to bring someone on your date. It does not change the fact that you are a pushover, not a real man. You are a simp, a complete fool, and a clown to allow someone else to bring someone on a first date. You are not 15 years old, okay? So let's put that to the side. Historical Tomato says, I shared a post removed by moderators from another sub about a Chinese man being taken to court by a woman's family because he rightfully bailed on them. He went on a date and the woman invited 20 and more members of her family. Luckily, the court sided with him and he only had to owe what he spent on himself on his date. I shared it, the sub, because someone, a white dude, recently posted a short video from his date with the Filipina who'd also invited her entire family out on the date. So basically, that level of crassness and cringe isn't reversed or reserved for Filipinos. Gonzalo says, it's a sign of a low class. Precisely. Which woman with any self-respect will bring her entire family on a date? Administrator Feed says, this is what you get trying to date lower-class women with lower-class families, even Pinoys. No, not to date the lower-class ladies to avoid this sort of thing. I'm not saying everyone is like that, but there's truth to these stories most of the time. You want a good woman? Look for someone with a degree, gainfully employed, and that's somewhere in the middle class, and raised right. The issue is half the foreigners want to date 2 decades below their age, so the only ones they can attract are low class. Precisely. That is why they put up with it, because they know they would never be able to be with a woman that's so much younger than them. A 65-year-old in the West will never be able to date a 25-year-old unless he's a millionaire. So, when they come to the Philippines, the little pension fund goes a long way. That's why they tolerate this nonsense. They know they can never be with a 25-year-old back home, so they don't mind being a pushover and just a walking ATM, because that's how desperate, lonely, and pathetic some men are. They allow it to happen, and they say it's culture. It's not culture. It's bullshit. It's scam, just like everything else. Let's Ride the World says, haha, of course it's because all will just say yes, and these foreigners are most likely can't find a girl at home, have only fat ugly girl, or struggling to cope with getting a girl at home, etc. So, lower class girl in Asia is like an upgrade for them. Precisely. A lower class woman with no job, no prospects, no future, but still in her 20s, skinny from malnourishment, not because she's fit or healthy, is basically a prize, a lottery win for any foreigner coming from the West that is older and never had a woman like that in their life. Well, not really our problem, says Administrator Fried. It's fine dating someone much younger if they can attract them and not buy them. They still have to get themselves together to get the right kind of woman. There's no shortcuts in any country. There is shortcuts, but that's the problem. The shortcut is the money. We just have to accept it, address it, and live with it. Do not come here thinking somehow you have found a secret to attracting younger women just because from the Pinoy land, even though they are poor. But that is the reason. It's a third world country. Your dollars shows them a better life and a chance to eat at a restaurant, which they normally never get, which is why they invite someone with them. to take advantage of you. Glittering Booty says, guys, I simply don't see the stuff you do. I married a woman from a poor family, and 2 decades, I'm 67, and she's 45. Not so bad. I've lived here 4 years, and I just haven't had to shell out for relatives. 100 pesos here and there for a tricycle ride. Historical Tomato says inviting family members or even friends to a date and expecting your date to pay for them speaks volumes about how you have zero respect for your date. If you need to chaperone or have a chaperone, fine. You just need to pay for them, not your date. For those defending this practice as cultural, no, it is not. It's a lack of consideration and a lack of respect for boundaries. Exactly. If they bring dates along the first time, what makes you think they will not bring them the second time or third time? Or what makes you think those same people will not be going in and out of your house like a revolving door? They do not care for your privacy. Some Filipinos are looking for love, but all others only look for their meal tickets. Unfortunately, proper vetting is a must-have if you want to have a relationship with a real one. Actually, this is kind of true, since if you chose a woman and she does not know how to set boundaries between her family, it happens. In my case, when I started living with my foreign man and sometimes helped my family, but I was just disappointed they also wanted to ask for money from my boyfriend. I tried to explain to them, I help them since I have a job remotely, which I earn okay, but I observe Filipino culture, the more you help them, the more they ask, like they always have problems now and then. They want you to shoulder and support even those relatives and older siblings, and what I did, I get tired and block them. I did not only do that for my boyfriend, but putting boundaries with them. This was a chance for this person to pretend they are different than most Pinoys. Nothing to do with the original comment. Significance Fast says, I've done this. The girl brought 5 friends out with her. They didn't ask me about what I wanted to do. They just got a private room for karaoke. I sat down, looked at my situation, and said, nope, excused myself to the CR, but proceeded to leave. As I'm in the taxi, my phone blows up because those parasites didn't have any money for the tab. So sad, too bad, blocked. Don't be a simp. If the situation isn't to your expectations, then don't be accommodating. Precisely, simply walk away. Tell them to have a meal by themselves. Let them know you are not tolerating this abuse, essentially, because that is what it is. It's one thing to ask you, even then I would never say yes. However, to just show up with someone they expect you to pay for their meals or karaoke room is complete disrespect. You should never allow disrespect in this country specifically, because once you do, they'll try to take advantage of you. Your kindness becomes weakness and they try to take advantage of it. It's all expectations. They never once say thank you. They don't acknowledge the fact they even paid the bill. Most of these women don't even have the decency or courtesy to thank you for taking them out because they simply expect it. Most, not all of course, but that's the way it is in the Pinoy land. The truth is, most Filipinos rarely get a chance to go out and eat at nice restaurants, or at least what we consider nice, even a fast food joint. So when they see a foreigner desperate enough to try to invite them, they simply take the chance and invite their own friends, family, and chalk it up to culture. This is not culture. It's simply unacceptable. The best comment from last video is from Slim Jim. Never try to understand anything here. If you decide to settle here, you will only get daily headaches. Hang Lee has a tied comment for the top spot. The ordinary Filipinos don't progress too much over there. Also, the peso continues to be weak, so don't buy a condo, land, or build a house for your Filipina. Never, ever do that. The worst comment is from Chuck9112. The US GDP was 3.3%. Philippines was 5.6%, in which Louis makes the perfect reply. That makes no sense. That's right, Chuck, what you wrote makes absolutely 0 sense. Thanks for watching. God bless.